know.
It is time to get specific about the Pacific with our Pacific Update here at the Weather Channel. Not much happening across the west right now, as far as at least the coastline goes. Nothing much. San Francisco, we had a little rain on the day for Thursday, but hey, Friday, no problems. Decent day. Seattle, Portland started out a little bit on the wet side, went from wetter to better as the moisture kicked on. Another batch looming closely. We'll talk about the effect of that coming up here. Stay tuned for that in mere moments on the Weather Channel. Let's talk about some of the action here across the west. That includes some snowfall parts of Montana into Idaho. Guess what? It's built to stay there. Let's talk about high temperatures, including a cold place, Cutbank 37, Billings 61 degrees. We'll talk about Montana. And even an earthquake in Montana felt today. We'll talk of that in mere moments, too. 59 to Lander. Denver, pretty warm day. 67, 56 to Medford, 55 to Portland. San Francisco, beautiful city by the bay. Nice around Sausalito. Napa Valley, good. 64, the high of the city. LA, 73. That's okay. Not oppressively hot like last week this time. 71 in San Diego. Cooling off tonight to about 67. 63 to Vegas, a city that never stops. Great town. Cooling nicely, too, to Phoenix at 65 degrees at the present time. 45 in Denver. Remember that. Remember the warmth of today, because we're talking snow coming in toward Denver. Let's break it down a little further. Stampede Pass here, temperatures 35, a little higher elevation. 48 to Yakima, 41 to Redmond, 47 currently in Medford. Sacramento, 52 toward Blue Canyon. Beautiful place to see some stars. Boy, is it gorgeous up there. 39, 57 to Fresno, 46 Ukiah. Civic Center now 64. Kind of a decent night along Sunset Boulevard. No problems here. Hollywood looking good. 61 to Ontario. Santa Barbara, 54 degrees. Let's talk about Hawaii for a moment. Honolulu, 76. Hilo on the Big Island, 73. Looks good. Alaska temps, 15 to Barrow, 28 to Bettles. Fairbanks, good people in Fairbanks. Nice town. 24 degrees, 31 to Anchorage. Let's talk quakes for a moment. Southern California, 10 miles north-northeast of Ridgecrest, California, a 3.2 magnitude quake. 35 miles northwest of Bishop, California, a 2.8 magnitude quake. 35 miles west-northwest of Bishop, a 3.3 magnitude. Also 40 miles north-northeast of Bishop, California, 3.5 magnitude quake. 35 miles southwest of Eureka, Nevada, a 3.4 magnitude quake. Nothing felt for Washington or Oregon. Looking at the national image there, you can look and see 25 miles north of Bozeman, Montana, 4.0, the magnitude of the quake there. Not appearing on this Alaskan map, but 105 miles southeast of Dutch Harbor, a 4.8 magnitude quake was felt. Time to look at the Pacific region, and we'll kind of forecast conditions as they kind of move on into our Saturday here. We'll move along into a good day. Speaking of moving on, cold air too. Cold front, leading edge of colder air, squeezing out the moisture behind, a lot of cool stuff and some snow flying. Okay, that's going to drop in and affect things further inland, and eventually this same mess maker boom, brings cold air towards Chicago. Around Joliet, Michigan Avenue, you're cooling off. Indianapolis, too. We'll talk about its effect for the Northeast coming up also. But a nice, quiet, dry day along the coast. San Francisco, no changes. Still nice in L.A., San Diego, and a better day on the way, too. Pacific Northwest after a foggy start. We'll get to that. Starting off around 60 for Long Beach, about 62 at the Civic Center. Going to kick up the heat just a bit here. Not bad. 75 Civic Center, 73 Long Beach. In the desert, beautiful place. Palm Springs, 80 degrees. 25 to Tahoe Valley, another gorgeous spot. You wake up with 46 in Sacramento and wind up with 71. Around the Point Reyes National Park there. Nice 66 for San Francisco, 68 to Ukiah. Yakima, some fog there, 33. Fog for Portland starting out the day at 43 degrees and kind of going from 33 to 52 for a high in Yakima, and even Portland around the Troutdale and Hillsborough, Tillamook there, a little better day, 56. Seattle and Everett, 54 degrees. So things get better after they were wetter along the Pacific Northwestern coast. I mentioned a lot of this in the form of snow, and more snow to come as this cold air dives in and gets wrung out. The major batch of wet weather still remains right here. You can see from this vantage point, too, the counterclockwise circulation, low pressure kind of wiggling through and bringing a little cell right there. We'll take a closer vantage point at that. You can see how the wet weather continues to kind of move and wiggle in the same spots, training as the wet weather comes back where wet weather has already been seen, including a pretty amazing batch of rain there around Johnstown. A little closer look, Philadelphia, D.C., Georgetown. Imagine it's wet around Georgetown tonight, big time. Pittsburgh, just to the east of town, kind of moving north of Johnstown. Pretty sizable batch of wet weather at the present time. Even Cleveland looking at a little bit of a ground clutter here at the present time. Good morning forecast. Okay, there's a cold weather maker on the move. This on the move a bit too, dragging it, but still keeping some moisture at times around New York City. Hartford, White Plains too will keep it a little bit wet throughout the day. Wettest weather at least between now and noon tomorrow, right in parts of Pennsylvania. Wet weather, but occasional some showers, but some of this in the form of snow, Montana, Idaho, and a smidgen of Wyoming. Cold air starts to slip its way down with temps in the teens, 30s around Minneapolis and St. Louis, giving way to 40s and even some 50s. Travel-wise is on the way. Stay tuned.